What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid, little daytime special. It's a holiday here in the Great White North in Canada, so I have the day off. I'll be golfing in about 4 hours or so. So thought I'd jump on, do a draft or two, and with the release of Justin Herzig's fantasy best ball tournament, I'm excited for that. It should be fun. We're going to go through that and take a look at some salaries, take a look at the scoring. It should be a fun contest. I'm super excited about it, actually. But let's get into it. Let's say hi to the chat. We've got BestBall on call, little background noise at work. Fantasy Dog Pound, what's happening? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Antwall, finally before the bedtime. Appreciate that. Glad you could make it. Ben Haskell, good morning, afternoon. Disbanded, initiating the AI sequence. Herzig's contest dropped. Let me tell y'all, man, I'm definitely being underpriced here. We'll take a look at that in a second. I think you mean tell, not tall, but yeah, I get you. Antwall, definitely. GM Bindles, appreciate you coming in. Shimmy, Dirty P, what's up, brother? Tell, yep, there we go. Mint Eastwood, a boot, 4 hours. Is that how I said it? Sometimes my Canadian accent comes out more than I would like. The words like out, house, I definitely don't say a boot, but about, like maybe I say that weird too, probably. But there you go. Hartman, GM, appreciate you. Afternoon, yeah, it's day off, man. No work today. If anyone gets that reference, we got it. We got a Victoria Day, yes, sir. All right, let's dig into this. This is a fun contest. So here's the website. It's Fantasy Best Ball, fantasybestball.com. I should have put it in the description, but if you're on Twitter, if you're watching this show, you probably know about it. But Fantasy Best Ball, it's crazy that exists. That what's the word I'm looking for? That URL exists and no one's taken it. So fantasybestball.com is the website. It's got all the information in here. Step 1, draft your player from the player pool or join the player pool. Sorry, but I'm not sure if you have to be in the player pool to play the game. I'm not sure. Be worth asking. Justin Herzig, I should probably have tagged him in the description too. Maybe I'll do that after the facts, but maybe that's worth asking if just anyone can play. It'd be kind of fun if anybody could, even if you're not maxing. But build your team. Same as any DFS DraftKings contest. You have 50,000, 50K salary or salary cap, and then you draft six drafters, sort of thing, to make up your team. We can sweat the leaderboard live, which would be fun. And then hopefully there's some prizes. Even if there's not, it's a free game. If there's prizes, wonderful. If there's not the end of the world, but I'm sure, Herzig can put something together with at least ETR and some of the other big names out there. I'm sure they could put something together. So let's take a look at, there's alternates as well, which I don't know if anybody's really talking about. You're allowed 2 alternates. So let's look at that first. I was digging into that for a second. My first thought was, well, I'm going to put the 10K guys as my alternates, but it's 6K or less. So you're allowed to put, obviously, it's a lot of money to max this tournament. We all know that, $3,750 American, which is a lot more for me, which is kind of annoying. It is what it is. It's a lot more money for me personally, but that's how she goes. Being Canadian, I could also win more money. So there you go. So anyone that doesn't draft 100 or more of this, you can alternate with a 6K or less salaried drafter, if you will. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, there's a little contingency to it, which is good. Let's take a look at the scoring. I haven't actually quite looked at the scoring yet, so let's dig into it a little bit. 10 points for every advanced team, so that's good. It's nothing major realistically, which is, it shouldn't be, considering. I mean, advancing is great, but we're not playing this game to advance. We're playing it to win typically. 20 points for every team that advances to week 16. So every team that gets out of the 1 of 13 pod, you get 20 points for that. So that catches you up right there, kind of thing. So that's pretty handy. And then any team that makes the final gets 30 points. And then it goes up from there as you finish. And then 500 points for the winner, 450 per second. That's good. It's pretty flat, which it should be because these are obviously extremely difficult. 100 points for a top 100 finish. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what like the average, point differential will be. Obviously, like I'm thinking like no one's gonna get 1,000 points. That's way too crazy. Like realistically, I'm thinking like 600 points if you pick the winner, like which we probably don't have the winner in here. Like the winner is probably not even in the player pool, if I'm being honest. If it is, hopefully it's me. But it's probably not even in this game. So I would be surprised if maybe even like a couple hundred points. Like that would be really interesting what the winning score is. It's probably only going to be like 200 to 300 points, something like that. We'll see. Yeah, man, it's not fun. It's not awesome. It's not awesome. It's how she goes. So yeah, we'll see what the winning point, total will be. I'm guessing right now 200 to 300 points will probably be like the winning score, but we'll see. Just a couple of examples that all make sense. Pretty easy to follow. So that's the structure. Realistically, like advancing teams, I mean, getting one or two teams in the final from your, I mean, you probably want all of your entries to get at least like one finals player, I suppose. I don't know. We'll see how it works. It's just kind of fun. We'll kind of play with it. Now let's look at the player pool. That's kind of what everybody likes to do, likes to talk about. It's fun. We'll get into that in 2 seconds here. I'll join the player pool so the winner will be available. There you go. That's what I like to see. Where's PPR Tyler? We need to do some Canadian to USD. Yeah, math isn't his strong suit sometimes. But let's look at the player pool. Let's have some fun with this. This is it. Can I zoom in on this? Let's zoom in. There we go. All right. So we've got the winners up top, obviously the Best Ball Mania winners. They deserve to be the highest, salary. They've all won. So we've got Fareed here, Chess Liam, Daily Rojo, Justin Herzig, and El Gru. So Best Ball Mania 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all in there. 10K. Do with that what you will. Going down from there, SSS 9500. I'm not entirely sure who that is. Bash Barty, I've definitely drafted with that guy. I don't know if I know him on Twitter. Fantasy Football Wizard, we got there. Let's just talk about the guys that we know. Low Fireball, 15. I can't remember his name. Something Owens. He just literally followed me on Twitter. I followed him back. I know he's a good drafter. Definitely worth a look at 8,900. Who else do we got? Jerry Fish in here. Pretty high price. This is a tough range. Honestly, I kind of was talking with Donkey from Shrek here on Twitter a little earlier today about his price tag, like 8,600, and even Jerryfish 8,700. That's gonna be tough to fit those guys in because there's a lot of value down below, like down low here, which we'll get into once we get down there. Candyman, what's happening? Appreciate you coming in. Shady Advice here, 8,600. Chris Spags, 85. Dink Piece, Drew Dinkmeyer, 85. Eric Beimfor, 85. Fantasy Flocks, 85. Nez, 85. Pete Overzet's 85. Sacrilegious, there he is. So it's interesting that all these kind of creators and talking heads in the space are all sitting there at a kind of average, salary. Maybe they're higher. What's average? Like 79 typically, 78, something like that in like DK. So they're a little higher. I don't know. Do with that what you will. I'll say it right off the top, actually, like the salaries are interesting. I'm not sure. Like someone said, I think CBK on Twitter said that it was like a formula from last year's finishes. I really don't think that that's a thing at all. Especially with some of these kind of, again, talking head type prices. Like I'm pretty sure that all of these guys didn't finish exceptionally well last year that reflects the 8,500. Doesn't mean they're not worth it. They're all quality drafters. That's for sure. We know they're probably going to max it out, but I don't know if there's a formula or not, because some of the names, especially in this 8K range, I wouldn't touch with a 50-foot pool. 83 average. Thank you, Hartman. There you go. So basically they're average, more or less, right? Spags is steep. That's average. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that. Lots of value for sure. We're sitting with the gritty. We'll get there in a second. Lots of value down low for sure, definitely. We'll get to where gritty's at. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is a formula or what the formula was, because we'll get there in a second. Like, there's a lot to talk about. I think Pat knows what I'm getting at here. He doesn't max. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we talked about the formula. I don't know if it is a formula. I'm not sure. I don't think it is. I really don't, because some of these pieces, maybe some like generic names, like people we don't know are, I'm not sure. Yeah, don't worry about it, Ben. It's not a big deal. Anyways, let's move on here. CBK there at 8,400, Roto Run at 8,400. I honestly think this 8K range is going to be tough to click, really. Not because I don't like the names, I don't like the drafters. It's just like there's so much value low, and that's kind of what we got to do. It's very like, I was talking about this with Neil a little bit, Player Q on Twitter a few minutes ago, that like it's basically built to be like a stars and scrubs kind of a tournament. But we'll see. We'll see. So let's keep going. The up dog here. 8,300. FF Links, quality drafter, 8,200. If I'm missing you, let me know. Go Vikes. I know his name. Davis Maddock at 8K. So, like, is that worth it? I'm not sure. Last year it wouldn't have been. But, yeah, hard to say. Ron Stewart there at 8K. Debo, I know he's a good drafter. At 7,900. Dave here at 7,800, quality drafter. What else do we got? We're starting to get to where the value's at, in my opinion. This is kind of where the value lives. DMH Hartman right there, 7,400. Definitely some value there. What else do we got here? Dr. Stanky Leg. I think he's a quality drafter. Let's take a look at the chat here quickly. My three locks are me, Pat, and Herzig. Probably going to have to get OTS in two. Yeah, it is single entry. It's single entry. One entry, and Pat's definitely got some value down there. I'm leaving 3,500 on the table. Hashtag unique. I think you have to be like, again, it's stars and scrubs or leave money on the table. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. I love this format. Would love to see it become a big contest next season. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could charge money to enter this thing, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes or where that goes. But let's get back to it. Dr. Stanky Leg, quality drafter. And there's OTS right there, 7,300. Personally, I think he's overpriced, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, Razor, we got Ray Zani, I believe is who that is, at 7,300. That's cool. Fully loaded, that's a steal right there at 7,200. He's quality drafter. Then we got Player Q, that's Neil Orfield, 7,200. That's an absolute steal. And then we've got Do Me Favors down here, quality drafter, good steal there at 7,100. Fancy Dog Pound, Pat in the chat at 7K. That's a ridiculous steal. Like, so I was talking about it on Twitter and in a private chat and in a public forum on one of my tweets. Like, I think I'm overpriced. If I'm being honest, like, I think both Pat and Neil and probably fully loaded should be ahead of me as far as price is concerned. So maybe it is a formula and I had a reasonable year last year. I'm not sure. I don't think so, because I didn't have a finals team. I don't think Pat did. I'm not sure, but I don't think Pat did, and I don't know if Neil did or not. But I think I'm overpriced considering. Like, Do Me Favors should probably be ahead of me. Player Q, Fully Loaded, Pat should all probably be ahead of me for sure. Those ones for sure should all be ahead of me as far as price tag is concerned, in my own opinion. But so I feel like I'm like a low owned leverage play when you're leveraging off of those guys, leverage off of Neil, leverage off of Pat, leverage off of Fully Loaded, Do Me Favors, that sort of thing, and then take low owned off the Schneid. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I'm obviously going to be picking myself. Obviously, I'm sure everyone's that's in this is going to pick themselves. Of course, you'd be kind of silly to not. But yeah, they made me 74 undraftable at that price. I kind of feel the same way, man. Like, yeah, we're kind of like low owned leverage pieces off of this like cheaper chalk. I think that this low 7K range right here, all those names I've just named, those guys are going to be chalk. At least they should be, because like that's just crazy value if you ask me, as far as the way this tournament is structured. But who are you not touching with a 10-foot pole? It's not you, CBK. There's some names in there, but it's not you. Don't worry. There are definitely some names in that 8K range that I'm not even going to consider looking at. It's not you. Don't worry. Don't worry. There are some names there. I'm not going to out them. I'm not going to be that guy. But there are some names in there. Anyways, getting down past the 7K range. This is where all the value is, if you ask me. You know, you could even, I guess, throw myself in there, and Hartman you could throw in there for sure. Dr. Stanky Leg you could throw in there. I know he's a quality drafter. JGFC I think is a good drafter. I believe Jay Grow I believe is a good drafter. I'm going to look. These names on the side here, right here, by the way, are the Twitter handles. So you can punch that into Twitter, find them, and see how they draft, look at posts, whatever, get a feel for them if you want to take a look down that. I mean, a lot of these guys you draft with anyways, so you kind of have a feel about, you know, how they draft and what they look to do strategy-wise and stuff like that. So, you know, do whatever. It's a fun free tournament contest. It's just for bragging rights, but it'll be a good time kind of regardless. I mean, it's all good either way. I'd rather be low on, but I'll return value. It's just your price. Like, there's so many cheap guys. Like, it's built for like the 10K and 7K guys. Like, maybe I will fit you in. I don't know. I haven't done. Maybe we'll do a quick lineup just for fun in a second here once we get down to the end. Don't take any offense to that, CBK. Seriously, it's not you. Like, you're not a guy that I wouldn't touch. There are some in there that I would not even look at or think about, but it's not you. Afternoon stream, love it. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. I was the nail last year on advance rate. I'm a value at 5,500. We'll get down there in a second. Definitely a value. And that's the other thing is, like, no one should be taking offense to this. Like, I know that there's people that are like, oh, my price is too low, I should be higher, blah, blah, blah. Like, even Ray Zani, I saw on Twitter today, he was saying he should be like 8,500 or something like that. Like, don't take offense to this. Who knows how they put these numbers together? Who cares? I think I should be lower. I genuinely think that there's people below me that should be more expensive than me, 100%. And there's people above me that I should be higher than, I think, in my opinion. But again, we're all good. We're all good. We're gonna move on. Let's go down. Who else do we got down here? Looking for the peeps that I know. I know Gumby 7 is not a terrible drafter, I don't think. Al Boogie, like, there you go. Al Boogie finished 11th. Al Boogie finished 11th in BBM, and he's down here. Like, it can't be, you know, based off of that. Like, 6,700 for Al Boogie is a huge value in my opinion. Like, finished 11th in Best Ball Mania. It's kind of rude. Lowell Hot Dogs, I think he's a good drafter, I believe. Fantasy Football Garage, we got the Candyman down here at 6,600. Definitely a huge value right there. I think Fantasy Grinder is not a bad drafter, I believe. Who else do we got? Snow, we got Milton Williams. I'm sure Spags will not be putting him in his lineup at 6,500, but he's down there, a bit of a value. We got Aesop Tuna Definitely a good drafter, 6,300. That's a huge value. Again, there's just so many good drafters down here that like that's where I'm going to be looking personally. Justin McMahon, like I don't know how Justin McMahon's at 6,200 either, but he's pretty quality. He's pretty quality. Yeah, I mean, again, like Al Boogie finished 11th in BBM in this tournament, and he's down at 6,700. I mean, I'm not going to be picking Ray Zanny personally, but maybe you will be. Should be 1,100 with the builds he puts out. Word. Could this lead to people that draft us getting mad at us and message us on Twitter if we don't do well for them? I don't know, man. I would care less. It's not like they're betting money. Again, it's a free tournament, so fuck off is what I would say. And even if you are picking me, like beat it. I don't care. If you pick me and I don't do well this year, who do you think is going to be more upset, me or you? Yeah. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Lowell Hot Dogs is a high stakes guy. I know that name. Yeah, definitely. I know that name. He's a quality drafter, I believe. So that's a name worth looking at. Yeah, Al Boogie, 11th place finish. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think it's an algorithm from last year because, again, Al Boogie shouldn't be that cheap. Regardless, he shouldn't be that cheap. But considering his finish last year, who else do we got down here? Socro Dave, quality drafter, down at 6K. That's a huge value. Michael Moisen, I know that name. I've drafted with him a few times. He could be good at 58. Winky Christ, he's quality at 58. We got to hit him with the gritty. There he is in the chat, 5,700. Huge value. The low, the mispriced piece that you need right there. Little Miss Brady, pay the rake. He's down here. Underzet, 5,700 again. So this is a quality range right here that you could look at, the 58 and 5,700 range. Some quality drafters in there. Absolutely. Deluxe 7, 5,600. Nick Bach, 23, 5,600. Tons of value. That's what I'm saying. Like Ben Haskell in the chat down here, 5,500. Ben Pollock, I think, is a quality drafter. Biff Tannen down here. We disagree sometimes on opinions, but he's down here at 5,500. He can definitely pay off. Chris Stankowski, he just followed me on Twitter. CLN right here, 5,500. So this is a crazy range of value. So like it's a stars and scrubs kind of, well, stars in quotes and scrubs in quotations. Don't get mad if you think I'm calling you a scrub. I'm absolutely not. I think that a lot of these names down here should probably be ahead of me too. What else do we got? Best ball guy, BBG at 5,500. Below. Oh man, I think BBG is going to take offense to that. I don't know. Chad Candles, 5,400, could definitely pay off. B Wakey Way, I don't know if I'm saying that right. He's a quality drafter, 5,300. Like that's value, man. The Daily Dial, I think he can draft, 5,300. What else do we got? We're almost at the end here. Almost at the end. That's it. That's all that I know on here. There's probably some names I missed, most likely. Probably. What do we got here? Winners were autos, 10K. I think the rest came from a tout level combined with BBM advance rate. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't think there was a formula in there. I really don't. If there was, then Al Boogie should be a hell of a lot higher than he is. What do we got here? I'm taking Al Boog for sure. Definitely. I wouldn't touch him either. I'll just say the price should be higher. Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Socro Dave, I think you mean Socro Dave. Yeah, massive value. Definitely. He's a name I know. He's definitely a sharp. Gritty likes that. All pounders should be 10K. Absolutely. No doubt about that. I had no idea about this contest. What fun I'm in. Yeah, it's Best Ball, fantasybestball.com. I really should have put it in the description, but fantasybestball.com. Go on there. You can get in the player pool. Again, I don't know if you can draft, like if you can enter this contest without being in the player pool. I'm not sure, but that's worth asking Justin Herzig. BBG, I rank you ahead of me. Poor BBG. Yeah, he's down bad right now. Will the new tools work with this contest? Yeah, definitely. You need tools in order to make this contest work. Absolutely. Yeah. Ask ETR if they can put that into their metrics or whatever you want to call it. So there you go. There you go. Let's try to scroll out. There we go. There's the contest. There's the player pool. Should be fun. Oh, let's do a quick little fun. See if we can put a team together here. Bring out the calculator because there's no I don't know. I don't want to click submit your entry and then, be wrong. Let's do one 10K guy because Liam and Herzig would be on one of those two are going to be in my lineup. I'll say it right now. One of those two I'm going to have in my lineup. The creator of this is Justin Herzig, who's also one of the 10K guys, for the original OG winner, the first winner of Best Ball Mania. Best Ball Mania 1. Justin Herzig put this together. Again, fantasybestball.com. Check it out. Jump in if you want. I'm not sure if you can draft without being in the pool or not. I have no idea. Only tools I need are Brewski and a bong. There you go. So 10K, let's go with that. One of those guys are going to be in my lineup. That's for sure. We got to do myself. So I'm 73, I believe. Let's put me in there. 7,300. I need 4 guys for 7,800. Let's do fully loaded because that guy's a good drafter. I know that for sure. Let's do fully loaded. Let's do Pat. And let's do Neil at 72. Yeah. Man, yeah, you got to leave money on the table. It's crazy. I could get another 10K guy in here. I could get Liam as well. I get Liam Herzig and still have money to spare. So, yeah, that's only down to 11,003. I could easily put put Herzig and Liam and then have money to spare with all these stud drafters down here. So, yeah, they maybe need to relook at some of these pricings because, a lot of these guys, I don't know who they are, but they must have finished well or something. But again, Al Boogie finished 11th and he's way down. So I don't know how some of these names are up here. You know what I mean? I know Low Fire did pretty well last year. I'm pretty sure. So that I get. Maybe FFB Wizard, he definitely did. He had the most advanced teams, I'm pretty sure, right? So he should be up here. That's fair. Bash Barty, I remember him. He's good. I'm not sure who SSS is, but I'm going to assume he's good. Oh, Leone right here at 9K. That's a decent price. Go Lancers, I don't know. Zolster, OMG. I'm not sure who a lot of these guys are, but I would assume they must have done well. Yeah, I know Jerryfish is good. We talked about him. Yeah, I should probably make it less or change the values. I don't know. Have maybe 6K be the bottom instead of 5. I don't know, something like that. This should have been done like a DFS showdown with the captain is 2 times. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Oh, did he? I thought Wizard had the most advanced rate. But then maybe this Foxy person, maybe they're not in the tournament, I guess. I don't know. But either way, there it is. Tons of value, tons of fun. Jump in if you want. Join the player pool right here. You can submit your entry. I think we have until July 31st, I believe. Let's go to the scoring. I think it says in there. I don't know where it said, but I believe we have until July 31st to get your entry in. So yeah, there you go. That's it. That's a fun thing, fun tournament. Fun little sweat, bragging rights type of thing. If there's an equation, it's heavily rewarded in advance rate. Maybe, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think only like 200 to 300 points will win this thing. I really do. We'll see. I highly doubt that the winner of Best Ball Mania 6 is even in the player pool. And hopefully it is, and hopefully it's me. But if it's, if the player's not in there, then the most points we're going to get is just like a couple hundred. And that's the most likely thing. 200 to 300, probably max. If one of your, if someone in the player pool finishes in the top 100 of the tournament, that's probably the guy you need in order to win this thing. So we'll see. But let's rip a draft. That's what we're here for, really. Let's rip a draft. We're going to do a BBM quickly. Let's jump into a 30-second Best Ball Mania. Entering right now. 30-second Best Ball Mania. Waiting on 9. Tons of room. Tons of fun. Jump in if you want to draft. It might be based on advance rate unless you're friends and family. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it is, honestly, because those 8K guys, like 8,500 guys, and like I'm pretty sure Davis had like a horrible advance rate, didn't he? And Sacrilegious is in there in the 8Ks as well. He had a pretty terrible advance rate as far as I can recall. So again, yeah, I agree. I like it was definitely I think there was some, I don't want to call it bias, but like I don't know, some leverage given to friends and family, name recognition sort of thing, which is fair. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it must have been weighted towards advance rate, and I just advanced a couple more teams than like Pat or Neil. I guess I don't know because I don't know. There's names below me that should be higher, but there you go. Nez would be definitely the 1-1 in dailies for sure, and then John would be like 1-2. Nobody knows Al Grew. Not really. I don't know who that is. I don't even think he's on Twitter, as far as I know. Maybe he is, but as far as I know, I don't think he's on Twitter, and I don't think anyone knows who he is. He hasn't done any. I don't even know if he's gonna. I think they just put him in here. I don't think he like reached out and said put me in the player pool. I think he just like they think he's gonna max it, and he probably will. I don't know why he wouldn't. So I think they just put him in. I don't even think even like Fareed. I'm not even sure Fareed was like, yeah, put me in the player pool. I'm excited about this contest. Again, they just know he's gonna max it, so they put him in there. So I don't think he's done any like podcasts or gone on any shows or anything like that. So yeah, so good on him, I guess. I mean, yeah, he just wants to keep drafting, do his thing. Definitely friends name recognition bump for sure. Which is expected. Like again, like if you're like all of those streamers are all at 8,500. Like coincidence? I don't think so, obviously. Right. So, except for Davis, which I think was like a shot at Davis. I would imagine that they just chucked him like a few $100 short. I don't know, but I would imagine that was kind of how they did it. But yeah, I definitely think there was like some name recognition going on there and just like let's throw them all together and yeah, I don't know, see how it goes. They should do one with the ones that max the Schnauzer. Yeah, maybe like a puppy. Like the Schnauzer's only at 20 max. You got to do like a puppy or I don't think the Pomeranian is even like 150 entries. I think you'd have to do one for like the puppy, but which one? Because there's 3 puppies typically, 3 or 4 puppies, and then the fast puppy, the slow puppy, right? So I don't know which one you'd want to do it for, but yeah, that would be kind of fun. I drafted against El Grew in a BBM this year. Would recommend fading him. Yeah, I mean, I've drafted with him before, and I've been like, wow, what is this guy doing? But I mean, the dude won, so give him his flowers, give him his respect. Like, the dude won. It's you can't really say much, against that or about that. Build a Tampa team: Chess, Liam, Herzeg, Little Miss Brady, and myself. Is that everybody in Tampa, like Tampa Bay, or what? Tampa, Florida. I wonder how many Canadians are in this thing. Am I the only Canadian? I wonder. If I'm the only Canadian in the player pool. Probably not. There's got to be at least like one other Canadian in there. You got to think. Mind you, it's like, yeah, what is that? Like, maybe I should keep my voice down so my wife doesn't hear me. But what's the what's the price of that? Yeah, just a little over 5, which is cool for me. But I don't know. I wonder. That's kind of got me curious if I'm the only Canadian in there. El Grew might be the best average leverage piece. No one knows him. No one's going to pick him at his price. People won't want to chase last year's winner. He could have a good advance rate and get you there. Yeah, no, that's quality advanced big brain thinking there for sure. Like Fareed and El Gru obviously will be the two like leverage pieces at 10K for sure. Cause like everybody knows Daily Rojo, Pat Carane, Herzig's made a finals in every single BBM. So he's going to be pretty high owned. Liam had 2 finals teams last year, former winner as well. He's going to be super high owned. So those are the 2 leverage pieces at 10K. No question about it. We all know that. But yeah, it's just for fun, guys. Free sweat on your favorite horses. Exactly. Like there's a lot of people that I think are going to take this personally, their price, their ownership, whatever. They're going to take it personally, get upset about it. You guys are going to regret not drafting me, like NFL players, you know what I mean? But again, don't take offense to anything anyone says or does. It's free. It's fun. Let's have fun with it. Let's not get butthurt about little stupid things that happen on the internet. So there you go. It's free. It's fun. It's a fun little sweat. Pick your horses and bet on your guys. There you go. Yeah, I've seen El Gru in some. Yeah, for sure. Jacob Sanders is Canadian. I think he is too, but he's in Toronto. So yeah, I think he's in Toronto, I believe. And that's barely Canada. So anyways. Is Roto Run in? He's a good Canadian boy. Is he? John Warner, right? Is that his name? The Nez's partner? The Badge Bros? Is he Canadian? I don't know. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, they're all in the surrounding areas. Crazy how even 2 winners are from the same spot. Yeah, wow. Or 2 BBM winners are from the same spot. Jeez, something in the water down there. And you're next, man. You're next. We need another Tampa winner down there. Meat Gazer, what's happening, brother? I wasn't even including the player pool bidder. You gotta add yourself. You have to tell them to add you. You're not just included or not. It wasn't just like they built the player pool. No, like you had to literally add yourself, which you can do. So again, fantasybestball.com, jump on there. You can add yourself to the player pool. They will assign you a salary, however they do it, however it's constructed or however it happened. I have no idea, but yeah, they'll assign you a salary and then you'll be in the player pool. And they have until July 31st, I believe. July 31st to get yourself in the player pool and draft your team. So jump in there if you want to get in. Yeah, less bitter. It wasn't just like a favoritism thing. It was literally, it's like if you think, but also Meat Gazer, like you have to either be maxed or planning to max Best Ball Mania. That's why they have that alternate thing where you can add 2 alternates just in case one of your picks doesn't max enter the tournament. You can swap them out for an alternate that did max enter. So I'll tell you right now, if Gritty's not on my team, he'll be my alternate, baby. Gritty's going to be one of my alternates. That's for damn sure. So anyways, yeah, you have to add yourself to the player pool. Well, you just send a message or DM or something. You can join it right on the site, fantasybestball.com. I think it sends a message to Justin Herzig. He'll assign you a salary. He'll add you to the player pool. So get in there if you think you're going to max the tournament. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know he's Canadian, but nice. Good Canadian kid. Attaboy. Win on 1 30-second Best Ball Mania we're doing here. So yeah, again, let's try to not take this personally. There's names ahead of me that should be below me. There's names below me that should be ahead of me. I'm sure everyone would say the same thing with their own, dollar value they've been assigned, blah, blah, blah. Like, let's just have some fun with it, guys. Everybody's going to get butthurt probably. It's just for fun. Let's have fun with it. It's free. It's not a big deal. In the draft, we got Dirty P at the 1, draws the 1 pick. Mad Mardigan, drafted with him last night as well. I'm not sure if he's in the chat or not, but he's in the 3 spot. Tibbsy, I've definitely drafted with him before. I don't know if he's a chat guy or not. If you are, let me know. Biff Tannen at the 8 spot, probably in the chat. Antwall in the 12 spot. I know is in the chat. If you're in the chat, let me know. Or you can lurk, do whatever you want to do. But we're ripping a BBM 30-second. What do I do here? Are you? Should I be backing you? Let's see. This is some good homework too. Like Biff Tannen, Antwall. I don't know if Antwall's in the player pool. I'm not sure if you added yourself there. Dirty P. I don't remember seeing you, or were you in there? I can't remember everybody. But I know Biff Tannen was in there. I know I'm in there. So it's good homework to, like, when you see these names and you draft with them, see what they do, see their tendencies, see if you want to put them in your pool, and have some fun with it. Good luck, brother. Appreciate you. Goes chase the 1-1, obviously. Pretty easy click there. I got to finish my rankings, so I'm at least like at 200 to 250 players. All right, Dirty P just added himself to the pool. Awesome. I'll be keeping an eye on how you draft. We'll see. I definitely want to take some guys that I do kind of want to leverage a little bit on some guys that may not be drafted too much, just off of like name recognition. So like that whole 8,500 range, I'm not picking any of those guys. I'll tell you right now. I'm not picking Pete. I'm not picking Spags. I'm not picking Sacrilegious. I'm not picking any of those guys. Honestly, I'm just not. Like, it's going to be the lower owned 7K range right there. And then I'm going to probably be picking Liam and Herzig and then fill it out with the lower owned guys. And I'll still have money on the table. So there you go. CD, that's way too easy. Don't know how you don't pick CD Lamb at the 7 pick. Easy peasy. Let's load up. PS Best Ball Mania, Best Ball Overlay. Shout out to Best Ball Overlay. That's what I use. Don't have my promo code yet, Pat. So eventually I'll have a promo code at some point. Don't have it yet. But it's coming. Use the promo code once it comes. But either way, Best Ball Overlay is what I'm using. So you see the data here. They've been just pumping out. PS, I know why I haven't got a promo code yet. Pumping out the overlay updates left, right, and center. So shout out to Josh and Pat. Shout out to those guys. I know you're working hard. Don't worry. I'm kidding about the overlay or the promo code. I'm totally joking. Get it to me when you get it to me. It's not a rush. But shout out to those guys and shout out to the tool. That's what we're using here. Don't have a ton of percentages, obviously, because I've only done, I think this is draft like 16 or 18, something like that, maybe less for Best Ball Mania. And I want to make sure that I just have, so you can select the tournament that you want to be, showing your exposures to. So I just want to make sure that my Best Ball Mania exposures are flat or like where I want them, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna keep that in anytime I'm drafting Best Ball Mania, just so I can make sure to even out my exposures. All good, bro. All good. I'm totally joking. Take your time. I know Josh is, pounding. The dude's the one-man machine down there. So don't worry about it. I'm totally joking. I'm totally joking. What were you saying about the Waters in Tampa? I'm about to put it to use in this draft. There you go. Sounds fun. Definitely does. It's a fun little sweat, little game. CMC Drake. Ooh, I like that start. a lot. That's a really, really fun start. Biff Tannen goes Malik Neighbors. I like that. And Brock Bowers. Okay. Gets that. That'll be a little chalky, but that's fine. Totally fine. It might be the chalk you need. That's what I've been kind of saying a little bit here and there. Let's go McConkey, get a little week 16 correlation in our lives. Let's do that. That sounds fun. Let's do that. And then let's use the tool here. Don't have any CD Lad in Best Ball Mania. Good. Now I do. Good to know. There we go. Yeah, all good, Pat. No rush, bro. Literally, seriously, no rush whatsoever. It'll get to me when it gets to me. It's not going anywhere. The tournament's not going anywhere. This will be open all summer, as we know. I like how it's 10K. PS, I was talking about this the other day on some show, some channel. I can't remember. It might have been my own. Hard to keep track these days. But a top 100 finish, you get 10K. That's pretty sweet. Like, that's good. It's really hard to even make the final, but to get top 100, like, that's not easy whatsoever. And you get basically like 3 times the max enter, roughly. I know it's a little more than that. I can do math, but it's pretty close. So that's pretty quality. Almost 2 times max enter for top 200 finish. Yeah, that'd be a fun sweat. Like, if you just make the finals, it's going to be a fun sweat regardless. I've yet to make the finals in Best Ball Mania. So hopefully this is the year that we do it. What an odd number right here. 500,000, $504,370 for third place. What an odd number. You probably should have just taken that money and thrown it somewhere. I don't know. The year long or something even. It's just a weird, odd number. But that's fine. I would not be complaining if I won, if I got third. That's for sure. Zero complaints coming out of me. Mad Mardigan brings up Garrett Wilson a little bit. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. Nothing finicky going on right now. What do we got for chalky starts? Man, who does Houston play again? Where it's a chalky start? Chargers. So that's going to be a chalky start. Nico Ladd. Neighbors Brock Bowers will definitely be chalk, but doesn't like I'm going to have exposure to that for sure. No question about it. Everybody should. Like it could just be that chalk that you need to eat, like the Amon-Ra Ceedee year, right? It's just chalk that you need. 3 straight RBs here. Don't despise that, but it's going to be tough to land that plane. I feel like I don't mind 2, like going RB, but 3 is a tough sell for me this year. We'll see how that goes, but it's a pretty tough sell for me this year. Geez, I guess Marvin Harrison's an easy click here. Very easy click. I think that's a massive, kind of tier break between Marvin Harrison and Davante Adams. That could be completely wrong thinking as well, but I'm going to go with it. I like the bye week bros are happy. Makes me happy as well. Tiny bit of a bye week bro, but not to any sort of extreme. Yeah, I agree with this. That's for sure. Definitely will be chalk. Where did Bijan go? Right here. Depends on where Bijan goes, though, because they don't feel amazing bringing up Davante Adams. You don't hate it and you'll do it. And I've done it. No, and I haven't done it, I don't think, with Bijan. Let's see. I can check. We can check that. Or can we? I don't think I can. Never mind. I thought you could add anyone, but it has to be someone on your team. Okay, cool. But it definitely will be a lot of chalky starts. There will be a lot of chalky starts, and it is what it is. My Lamb Amon-Ra, chalky lost to Lamb, Davante Adams in the Dalmatian final. Yeah. Did you have the quarterback piece, though? Or the running back piece? Like, that might have been what really cost you, no? We know, like I was talking about this with Steve. I know I was with Steve, so it was probably on this show, the one I did with Billy Jones and Steve Schaup from the Fan Speak. We were talking about it where, like, in the finals, regardless, if you make a team in the finals, you get a team to the finals, you have to have the wide receiver one and or the running back one. You have to have those for that week. You have to have those pieces, period. End of story. You don't have to have the QB one or the tight end one. You don't have to have those pieces. It'd be nice, obviously, if you do. You kind of would hit the nuts, but you absolutely, no questions asked, you have to have the RB1 and or the wide receiver one, no questions asked in the week. So that's just something we came up with. Both QBs. Adams, I think, finishes wide receiver 2 and 3. Lamb was 1. Amon-Ra was like 15 points, but Adams blew up. Yeah, that'll happen. It was essentially like the Chase, the Jamar Chase and Higgins kind of, Bengals stack situation where Higgins was the guy you needed. But Chase would have been like the chalk that you needed to get there, right? So it is what it is. What are we going to do? Still finished second in the Dalmatian. It's a good finish. Tons of money. I know you're happy about that, but it does. And wasn't it the Jameson Williams catch that really cost you? So there you go. That'll happen. What can you do? Do I have any correlation I need here? Not really. I don't think it makes sense to take Daniels. I don't think it makes sense to take Hampton. I'm going to bring up Jameson Williams. I think is a really good click. So let's bring him up, especially as your wide receiver 4. I like this team. Antwall brings in Tet McMillan and Travis Hunter. I don't mind that. Fun start. Biff Tannen goes Malik Neighbors Bowers. Mike Evans Worthy. Don't mind that start. Dirty P, probably hoping that Jaden Daniels makes it back to him somehow. Pretty unlikely, but it's a way to get kind of unique with Terry McLaurin. There's not a lot of drafters taking Terry McLaurin at the 1. It's either like Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison, T. Higgins, Trey McBride, T. Higgins, Marvin Harrison. Starts like that is what's going on at the 1 spot typically. So, which you do have to have your shares of for sure. Again, I think my personal take is like some of the chalk, like Neighbors, Bowers, Nico Ladd. What else do we got? Bijan, I guess, Adams in the 3rd. The Cincinnati, Arizona, like some of that chalk you just have to eat. You have to have. It could just be the piece that you need. And it is what it is. You have to have some of that in your portfolio. You just do, in my opinion. And I will, and I'm going to have those chalky kind of starts, first 3 round starts. I'm going to have it, and then get unique later. Take any falling value you can. When I do that, again, like I brought up Jameson Williams, that's a way you can get a little bit unique. Anytime there's some falling value, take it if it makes sense for your team. Take it because that's getting unique away from those starts, right? So stuff like that are ways that you can get unique. Away from the chalky starts, in my opinion. If you win BBM, there's a good shot your roster would also have won that week's BR. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You almost have to have the nuts when we're talking about winning Best Ball Mania. You really, really almost kind of have to have the nuts. Pretty close anyways. I think Waddle's a great click here. I don't have any Kenny Walker, which I don't really like at all. Let's get some Kenny Walker in our lives. I think he's a good click here. I don't particularly love bringing him up. It's only a couple picks. But I like his schedule a lot. I really like the schedule for Kenny Walker and the Seahawks in general. You definitely kind of have to have at least close to the nuts to win like the larger finals fields, right? Like 539 teams in the finals for BBM. You have to have pretty close to the nuts, pretty close. The lesser, there's 25 entries in the final, 50, whatever, 100 entries in the final. You definitely don't have to be perfect. Even the big dog that's running right now, it's a 10-person final. You absolutely do not have to be anywhere close to perfect. So it depends on how big the finals, the amount of teams in the finals, how big is the final player pool or team pool, right? So 500 plus, you got to be pretty close to perfect realistically. JMO's last year, I think two years ago. Okay. 2 years ago was the Lamb of Monroe. That's right. Geez. So there you go. Like Pat just shouting himself out without doing it. Like some nice finishes there. Definitely worth more, in my opinion, at 7K versus 7,300. Save yourself $300 and draft Pat instead of me. Probably what I would do. I mean, if Joe Burrow's there, I'm taking him. I really don't care what anybody has to say about that, if they think it's a bad play or not. But sorry, Dirty P, you're not getting him at 72. I'm not letting Joe Burrow fall that far. I'm not doing it. Really, Biff Tannen is the only one who might take him. If he doesn't, I'm going to take him. Like I'm not letting him fall that far. And it pairs with my Marvin Harrison anyways. So you can backstack Joe Burrow. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not letting him fall. I've said this many times on the channel. I really don't care. I'm not letting Joe Burrow fall to pick 72 If I'm in the middle rounds, I've always said if I'm in the middle round or middle, picks, if I'm on the end here, I probably don't take him unless it makes absolute sense for my team, which is very difficult to make it make sense. But I'm not letting him fall past me at 66. Like, it's not happening. Again, look behind you. Like, I'm a Joe Burrow guy. Yeah, I'm taking Joe Burrow. Sorry, Dirty P, but there's just no way. There's just no way I'm letting him fall. Like, it's not happening. I don't care if people think it's a bad click. I most certainly don't. 13 picks past ADP, and you get the potential, top 5 for sure quarterback, potentially top 3 quarterback. And it pairs up with my Marvin Harrison, and I'm going to be relatively unique with my game stack because I don't have Jamar Chase, I don't have T. Higgins. Obviously, I'm going to need something a little wild to happen, either an injury or just like a 2-touchdown game out of Mike Gesicki or Yoshi Voss or something like that. But again, I'd rather bet on that than like just let him fall further where it doesn't make any sense. I just don't think it makes sense to let that caliber of player fall, especially when I have Marvin Harrison. Like, if I didn't have Marvin Harrison, yeah, you could maybe say that's a bad click, whatever. But when I have a bring back piece and I can backstack Joe Burrow, I don't know what you want from me. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I'll give you the heads up. It's just not happening. I 100% agree on Burrow. Click if he falls, take him. I do the same. Backstack with Gesicki, maybe Taj Brooks, definitely. There's backstack options back there, so I'll backstack him again, especially when I have that bring back piece already built in with a falling Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, I got some value on Marvin Harrison, 5 picks ADP value. CD Lamb fell a little bit. This should be a unique team for sure. I bring up Jameson Williams, falling Joe Burrow. This will definitely be a unique BBM team, no question already. But we'll see where it kind of goes and where it lands. But I have no regrets. No regrets. What do we do here? Let's do. I'm starting to get a little too much exposure to Caleb Johnson, but he just makes sense for my team. He really does. Pairs with JMO, I guess, in week 16. I need a running back. There's some wide receiver clicks down here. Let's go Caleb. Couple picks of value. Let's take it. If Baker falls a little bit, do you take him and backstack with White and Otten? Absolutely. You can backstack with White, Otten, Jalen McMillan, Ibuka if you're close and you can double tap. I'll show you guys a draft I did yesterday that might actually be the Best Ball Mania winner. I'll show you that. Do we have time? We have time. Quickly, I'll show you this one I did last night. And this could be the BBM winner. I'm dead serious. I love this one. So I went Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield fell half a round, 6 picks, which is amazing. So Joe Burrow right at, kind of ADP. My running backs are light, obviously, but it's going to make up for itself. So David Montgomery, Caleb. So I got the double stack with Jamar Chase and Higgins, bring back with Marvin Harrison, Waddle stacked up for week 16, and then also with my Tampa Bay in week 17, right? I got Leggett in week 16 to come back on my Tampa Bay side. Likely pairs in week 15 with the Bengals. And then someone else pairs with week 15 for the Bucks. So I'm like super correlated, and I got some super value, and I was able to get Ibuka right there, right? For a little falling value on Ibuka and Baker. Then I brought in Cade Otton, likely again pairs. So yeah, this could be the winner. Like, I need some help at running back, obviously, but I think that could be a definite. Oh, I'm on the clock there. Am I slow? Here we are. I think that could be a potential legit winner of BBM. We'll see. Do I take Baker? No fall. No fall on Baker. A little bit of a fall on Mahomes, but doesn't make any sense for me. There goes Baker. I'm not taking any of those guys anyways. Not taking a quarterback. Let's do I just think that Josh Downs is super kind of mispriced here. I think he should be ahead of these rookies. I don't mind the either click with Burden or Ibuka, but I think he should be ahead of the rookies. So let's bring in Josh Downs. Let's do that. I am. Long-winded answer to that question. I am taking Baker and backstacking because there's lots of options. When Burrow's healthy, he's finished QB3 and 5. Absolutely agree with that. Last night, BBG got Burrow at 72 double stack, but didn't have McBride or MJH. If I'm taking Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, I'm taking Burrow at the 4-5 turn. I don't give a shit. I'm taking Burrow there. I don't care. I've said it lots. Like, if you take one of them, either Jamar Chase and the T. Higgins drafters there, like, try to push them. Sure. Absolutely. Try to push them to the 78, 73. But if you're kind of relying on the Bengals double stack there, I think you just kind of have to take Burrow. You really do. Unless you get one of McBride or Marvin Harrison, and then you go the Kyler side instead, and you have the double bring back on the Cincy side. That's fine too. But I think if you're buying in with, picks, you two of your top 3 picks are Bengals, I feel like you have to have the quarterback. If you're only taking one, I'm fine if you try and push it. But if you're taking both, I think you kind of have to. I really do. Thad says QBs matter. They definitely do. That's his brand. They definitely do matter. So I hear you on that. Let's take a falling Joe Burrow when he does. What do we need here? Could definitely go tight end, running back, quarterback, I suppose, if he made sense. If I took Bird in there, I could have brought in Caleb Williams, but I don't think I need to do that. So let's take Cam Scattaboo. I haven't taken him yet. That's wild to me. If I haven't taken him in a BBM yet, that's wild. Let's change that right now. Let's change that. I think Cam Scattaboo is a great click this year. I really do. People act like it's impossible to win without the wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 stacked with your QB. Steve finished 4th in a big word with unstacked Baker last year, got sniped on back stacks. Yeah, I mean, I always say, like, all you really need is like one stack option. You don't need that double stack 100%. You don't need it. Like, you need one of those 2 plays, like either your quarterback or the wide receiver that you stack. You need one of them to smash their ADP, whatever that means. Yeah, I agree with this. I don't think you need it. You really don't. That's why I said I don't care what people think. If you think it's a bad click, I really don't care. I don't. I think it's a good click, especially, if you handle it properly and you backstack, you do some certain things. You got to do what you got to do after that. But I think it's a fine way to go about it. Burrow set up for MVP season for sure. I think 5K and 50 is on the table. Wouldn't argue that, and that would make me very happy. That would make me very happy, obviously. It means we're probably winning a lot of games. Mind you, we're going to win games like 33-30 this year, same as last year. So it is what it is, but we'll see how she goes. It's not as black and white as people make it out to be, especially when injuries become a factor. Absolutely. Agree with that. So, yeah. Absolutely. Like, you're banking on the talent, like Baker, Burrow, right? You're banking on those talent pools, essentially, right? And then hoping that not hoping, but like, if there is an injury, which there very well could be in Tampa Bay, there very well could be in Cincinnati. And we know injuries happen typically at the end of the season, right? As the season goes on, injuries happen. And that's where these backstack options become so valuable, in my opinion. Again, I could be completely wrong on this, but that's my take, and I'm kind of just sticking to it. It is what it is. I'm not going to deviate now. I kind of want to get some Justin Herbert in my life. Let's do that. Let's just bring him up now. Pairs with Lad, obviously. Let's get some Justin Herbert. Haven't drafted him yet in BBM, so let's do that. You could say that Dak might have been the proper click there, but I'm going to get some pairing with Lad here. It pairs up with CeeDee Lamb in week 16. I've got my week 17 stack, so hopefully they ping pong off each other and I win BBM. That's the goal, obviously. I like this team actually quite a bit. This is a fun squad. And I've said it lots. Like, I want to be done picking quarterbacks around here. So I'm happy to get 2. I'm done at 2. That's for sure. 2, 6, 7, 3 is going to be by far my most common build. Not even close. I just think there's tons of value at tight end at the end of drafts, and you can just get 3 of them, not overlap bye weeks if it's possible, if it makes sense, and then kind of Jesus take the wheel on your tight ends. And I think there's some value at running back. So that's what I've been doing. It's no secret. I've been saying it every single time I stream. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be done drafting quarterback by round 10, 11, 12, maybe, and then kind of take it from there. Wide receivers early. That's going to be my formula. So if that helps you draft me in the fantasy best ball tournament, then there we go. So important to set your exposures to just show BBM 6. Cody's fantasy stock going up. There you go. There you go. Yeah, if you like the strat, hit me up. 7,300. That's a value. You would say that Christian Kirk should be the click here, but he's not going to be. I don't mind taking a running back or a tight end here. I think Njoku makes a lot of sense. I think Njoku makes a lot of sense. Pairs up with Caleb for week 17. Yeah, let's do that. There's some good Buffalo options late that can pair up for week 16, which is cool. So let's do that. This is kind of where I like to take my first tight end as well. Somewhere around here, rounds 10 through, call it 13. But this range of tight end, Kraft, Kincaid maybe, Ferguson for sure, Pitts is in that range. And then obviously Njoku, Warren, Loveland, Engram, all those guys. I like to take my first tight end kind of in that range, and then 2 later options. Hopefully they stack or bring back, something like that. Already love your RB room, says Meg. Appreciate that. I'm a fan of the RB room for sure. For sure. I'm going to take 6 as well. So I'll probably be going RB at 38 here, most likely. We'll see where it lands, but most likely going RB. I'd like to avoid bye week 8 for my wide receivers, maybe one more, but we'll see if it makes sense or not for the squad. Christian Kirk's falling. Do I want to take Kirk if he falls into my lap? That's a hard maybe. That is a hard maybe on that one. Who Hames, what's happening? Driving home? Safe drive, safe travels. Appreciate you popping in. Hit the like button, guys, if you don't mind. We're doing a little daytime stream before I hit the links. I got my golf shirt on. We'll only do 1 draft, maybe 2. You guys can talk me into 2. You can talk me into another one. If you hit the like button, let's hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, you like the content, hit the subscribe button if you like it. And we'll be streaming all summer, drafting all summer. Do I take Tucker Kraft here? I don't think so. Let's bring in Tajay Spears. I think makes more sense. Or Ray Davis. Let's do Ray Davis. Bring him up a couple picks. I don't think tight end makes sense there. I really don't. Is Ray Davis or Tajay? It's a toss-up. I like Ray Davis a lot this year. I'm kind of betting a little bit on James Cook sitting out, sitting in, whatever you want to call it. I'm kind of banking on that, thinking that there's a good shot that happens. Maybe Spears was the click, but pairs with my Cleveland, week 15. Does Tajay pair with anything? No, he doesn't. So I guess that's the kind of tiebreaker right there. And I think like Ray Davis is like to the moon. If there's an injury to Pollard, yes, Spears gets a bump, but not as much as Ray Davis. If James Cook either gets hurt or sits out or whatever, Ray Davis gets a massive bump. He gets all of the work for the most part. Ty Johnson gets a little bit, but not as much. Like, I think the value is more on Ray Davis's side than it would be on Tajay Spears if there's an injury to the starter. Definitely not going quarterback, obviously. Jalen Noel would have been on my draft list, but that's okay. I don't think I can quit Kyle Pitts here. I think he makes too much sense for me. Pairs up with Marvin Harrison. Yeah, we got to do it. I'd like to get another wide receiver there, but that's okay. I'm a little worried about my final two. Mind you, I'm pretty top heavy, so I should be fine. Like these five can really, really push me through a lot of weeks, I feel like. So I'm not entirely in love with my wide receiver situation, but I think I can make it be okay. It can be fine. It can be fine. Was so hoping Ray Davis would fall to me at the 1. Sorry, bro. I feel bullied at the 1. My apologies. My apologies, bro. I'm pretty high on Ray Davis this year. Quite high on Ray Day. Again, I'm kind of banking on the possibility of James Cook sitting out a little bit, and then even if he sits out and comes back, a lot of times that leads to an injury. We see it all the time. Or, if he just sits out, and then I don't think he sits out and misses games. But if he sits out and he's not in camp, again, sometimes that leads to injury, like more often than anyone would like. That's for sure. What do we do? What do we do here? Bullied at the 1. You guys want to do another draft after this? We can rip a quick one. We'll do like a 20-second puppy if you guys want. That'll be fun. I did say in the description I'd do a BBM and a puppy, so we'll do it quick. My tee time is at like almost 5, but I want to get to the course and work on my putting because my putting has been horrible. Ball striking has been really nice to start the year, but the putting, let me tell you, needs some work to say the absolute least. So I'd like to get there a little bit early, but we got time. What do we want to do? I definitely have to take QJ here. Full round of ADP value, double stack with the Herbert side. I like that. Let's do that. Do I have a bring back? I don't. Okay. I know what we're doing. We're in good shape here. We're in good shape. We are in good shape. Let's check what everybody's doing here. Antwall. Hunter goes Rome. I think Rome's a smash down there. A smash pick. I love that. Godwin takes Christian McCaffrey and then just urinates for the next 5 rounds. Don't mind that. Hawkinson. I love the Mooney click. Tyrone Tracy, Caleb at a massive value with the Godwin or with the Roma Dunze. Wow, nice. Brings in Penix. That's a value too, I think, isn't it? I believe with the Mooney. Nice. With London. It's a good looking squad. Antwell's got at the 12. Rams bring back, but nothing yet. That's okay. Considering the value you got with some of these guys. I like that. Nice looking squad. Biff Tannen brings in Waddle, James Conner, Swift, Baker. Baker pairs with Evans. I like that. Bayshall Tootin, dig that. Ingram, Jaden Blue. I have a hard time with Jaden Blue there. I really do. I mean, I clicked him as he rose, but I find it tough to click him right now. I really do. I really have a tough time with that. Hollywood, Jalen McMillan pairs up with the Baker. I like that. Geno Smith with the Bowers. Dig it. With the bring back and Neighbors. Who do they play? Miami plays Tampa Bay with the Waddle. I like that. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's a nice looking squad as well. Really nice looking squad. We'll look at Dirty P in a second, see how he's doing. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. San Francisco. And this guy just snipes me on Gesicki. That's cool. That's fun. Couple picks. I didn't want to bring up your comment, Meg, because, yeah, he was still there for me and then goes one pick before me. Ouch. That's not very nice. Not playing nice. Let's just bring in Yoshivas then. I can't take any more risk of not getting any sort of stack option. It was a little bit lofty to think that Gesicki would fall, but it does make sense. Like realistically, I don't think Gesicki makes a lot of sense for this guy. Ertz would have been the click in my opinion, but yeah. T Car 14, if you're in the chat, that's not very nice. There's not really any sort of, I guess, Chase Brown, yeah, game team stack, I guess. Okay. I guess. Kind of hurts my feelings, but that's okay. Yeah. I am going to take one more tight end. That's for sure. I could get away with just two, maybe. I could get away with two. I might even do that. I'm not ecstatic with these last two picks. I'm fine with that. I'm definitely taking two more running backs. That's for sure. I guess I could bring in Taj Brooks, but I really don't feel like I have to. I'm just going to like make the bet that Marvin Harrison's the guy you need. And then Burrow and Harrison are the guys you need. And then maybe there's an injury to T Higgins or something like that, or Yoshi Boss just kind of smashes. I'm just going to make that bet. I'm going to leave that game alone. I'm not going to force that in anywhere. I mean, I don't think it. I guess I could take Thielen here. I just feel like Mason Taylor's the click right here. Thielen could be the click. Let's do that. I'm going to stick to two. Let's take the massive amount of value on Thielen. Let's do that. I'm going to stop at two tight ends. I'm not sure I love that, but I am going to stop at two. I don't love these last couple clicks at wide receiver. Let's bring in Thielen at a massive discount. And then let's finish it off with two running backs. I feel like that's the best option here. All good. I'm sure he's not in the chat. I'm sure he's not in the chat. Maybe he is. It does pair up. Like he does have the Chase Brown team stack going on there. So I shouldn't have been that shocked. It just breaks your heart when you see it. It just breaks your heart. That's all it is. Yeah, we'll be going two running backs to wrap up this team. 2, 6, 8, 2. Don't mind that. Maybe like the two clicks that might come back to kind of haunt me would be Mason Taylor. Should have taken him over Adam Thielen maybe. And then Tajay Spears over Ray Davis. But I'm not going to, dwell too much on those clicks. Let's bring in Woody Marks to pair up with my Chargers stack. Yep, let's do that. There's my Houston bring back. I like Woody Marks quite a bit, especially as the pass catching, bring back option. Let's do that. And then we'll see. There's tons of options down here, including Taj Brooks. He is a Cincinnati team stack option, but I don't think I'll go down that road. I don't love Taj Brooks as like the pass catching back there. Mind you, it might not matter. It might not matter. Like maybe Taj Brooks is just the piece you need, I suppose. Against Arizona, who just invested heavily in the middle of their defense. I think like a pass catching option would be the way to go, but there's no one realistically right here for the Cincinnati side. So I'm just gonna avoid that kind of game. I'm gonna bank more on my Chargers Houston, and I do have some pieces in that game regardless. So I don't think it's really necessary to go down any of those roads. Back stacks Matthew Stafford with Ferguson and Jarquez. Let's take a look at Dirty P's team here. Pickens, Judkins, I love that click. Stephon Diggs then brought it back with Drake May. Yeah, love that. Jordan Mason, I love that. Dak Prescott, sure, got some value on it. Paired him up with George Pickens. Dig it. Algiers a great click. Tillman's a good click down here for sure. I probably would have went Palmer over Tillman personally, but I don't mind that at all. It's a good click. Let's take another running back here to finish up our squad. You're just going to force me to take Brashard Smith again, hey? Almost after this, that's 50% Brashard Smith. Probably a little aggressive, but we'll see. And then he goes Hunter Henry pairs up with New England. Marshawn Lloyd's a good click. Ollie Gordon and Audric Estime. I like the Estime. I'm in on Estime down here. We'll see if he stays down here in the 17th, 18th round. Lloyd, I think, was a bit of a pull up, but that's okay. I don't mind Lloyd as a click. I'm probably taking Giddens over Lloyd. I mean, it's close. It's close, but I like the Indy schedule more. It's really close. But there's the team. You guys want to rip another quick one? Let's see how many. I hope we have 20. We better have 20 likes. If we don't have 20 likes, I'm going to be sad, Panda. But if we have 20 likes, we'll be in a good spot. 24. All right. Well, we'll rip another quick 20-second puppy for the squad. 20-second puppy jumping in right now. 3, waiting on 3. Get in if you want to get in. 26 likes. Appreciate you guys. Hit that like button if you don't mind. If you like the content, you like the channel. If you're new to the stream, new to the channel, hit the subscribe button if you like the content. And we'll be ripping drafts all summer. Fantasy Dog at the 11 spot. Locker Room Plunger. I like that name. I think we're getting some EV maybe. I don't know if there's some lurkers in the chat. If you're in the chat and you're drafting, let me know, or don't. Do what you want to do. Yeah, the stream drafts are typically tough. That's why I don't like to do too many BBMs on stream or high dollar value, entries on stream. You don't get much EV at all. So try to avoid them when you can on stream. I like to do a little bit, give some insight on it and do a little bit. We did a biggest board, $250 draft in the pre-draft season. Bigger board we did as well. It's fun as fuck on stream though. Yeah, it is. It is. It definitely is. It definitely is fun. So we're in a 20-second puppy here. 100K up top. It's a lot of dough, a lot of money up top. This is a fun contest. Like if you can't max Best Ball Mania and you can max some of these puppies, like that's what I would be doing. That's what I would be focusing on. I would put my eggs in the puppy baskets for sure. And I'll probably try to get like at least 50 of each puppy and maybe up to like 100 of each puppy. Just maybe not each, but like 1 and 2 probably. Especially one. Like this one I'll probably try to get to 100 because I think there's lots of value in this first one where I think I have an edge, a bit of an edge early. I could be wrong on that, but I think I have a bit of an edge. So I'm going to try to take it. Let's bring up just the puppy because I have a little bit more, tournaments. Let's do Nico. I can't have no Nico. Let's get Nico. I don't love the click, if I'm being honest, but I can't have 0% Nico Collins. That's just silly. That's just silly of me to try to do. So bring in Nico. We'll see who falls to me. Christian McCaffrey's a value down here. Neighbors at 11 that's got to feel nice. Drake London goes. It's a great click. If CMC is there, like how do I not click his name? But that's not who I'm looking at. Ugh. How do I not click CMC here? I want to take Bowers is who I want to take. Oh, God. Let's just do it. I want to take Bowers to pair up with Nico. It's a little bit of it's a way to get a little bit unique. It's somewhat chalky because they do play week 16. And I think that's a better matchup than for both players. Like Houston's traditionally kind of struggled with slot receivers, big slots, tight ends, that sort of thing. At least the last couple of years. Last year they did for sure. So Bauer should be a better play against Houston than say, Myers, right? Should be a better play. Even than Genty. He should be a better play than Genty because Houston's got a very good defense. But they do kind of struggle against slot receivers. At least, again, they did last year. And I don't think they addressed it enough to make a huge difference. And it's Brock Bowers. He's still, super quality. And then the Ladd McConkey side coming back, like he should do well as well against Houston, but maybe not as. And again, that's going to be more chalky than Nico Bowers. So that's kind of my rationale there. I kind of just want some exposure to different like builds like this, but McCaffrey was definitely the correct click, as Dirty P is accentuating here. McCaffrey was definitely the correct click there, but I want to get this matchup of Nico Bowers in week 16. So I want to get some exposure to it. I'll say that. And I'm not drafting a lot of Nico. So if I'm not drafting a lot of Nico and I have a chance to get exposure to that matchup that I want, that's kind of what I'm going to do. But again, the correct click was definitely Christian McCaffrey there. Definitely. So we made our bed. We're going to lie in it. I wanted Neighbors Bowers for week 17, but already have a lot of Bowers. Yeah. Again, like that's why I'm trying to get unique on this. And yeah, you went away from it. Not a bad way to go about it. I probably would have went with Chris McCaffrey over Henry, but I don't mind the click regardless. It's fine regardless. But that's kind of why, I want to get this pairing of Nico Bowers to kind of leverage away from the Neighbors Bowers and the Nico Ladd, right? So if I have an opportunity to get it, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to close my eyes and take it. I don't love this situation right here. I try to sneak in Kyron there. Again, I was going to just take him because I'm not going to be clicking Kyron a crazy amount. Let's bring in Breece Hall. Then it will be one of these wide receivers. I don't really particularly care who, but if there's only one, that's who I'm taking. Yeah, it will be one of these wide receivers. And it'll be probably like this, as far as my order of operations are concerned. Probably. This is all in the puppy, right? Maybe I get away from Worthy. This is all in the puppy. I'm going to get away from Worthy and bring in DJ Moore here. I'd like to get more exposure to him in this tournament. Tet as well, but give me more over Tet. Let's do that. This is kind of an even out my exposures, get different matchups, different pairings, kind of a draft for me in this little puppy here. So sometimes you got to do that. Right on with the Game Stack 6 team. Most of my picks in that last BBM were tiebreakers or slightly neg for playoff correlation. Absolutely. Like, use that as a tiebreaker. But again, like, you want to get those matchups. Like, I want to get certain matchups that are leverage off of the chalk. That's what I want to do. Like, I want to get this week 16 matchup, right? Like, I do want to have some sort of game stack for week 17 for Vegas and for Houston. But I'm not necessarily bringing in like Stroud and Geno Smith and game stacking week 16. I'm not necessarily doing that. I just want a couple of like the number one pieces of that week 16 game stack. You know what I mean? That's kind of why I do stuff like this. And I'm not boxing myself in to having to go down the Houston or, Las Vegas, boxing myself into that team or that stack or that game. I have just these two quality pieces from a week 16 game that could be very lucrative. And then I don't have to do anything else from there. So that's my rationale. That's kind of why I do stuff like that personally. And then again, it leverages off of Neighbors, Bowers, Nico Ladd. What else do we got? Like Puka and Atlanta, we're probably down here, or even Puka London, if it's ever possible, which is sometimes. So that's another chalky start, like CD, McLaurin, Bijan, and some of the Rams pieces. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of correlate away from that. Like, you're still correlating, but you're leveraging away from the chalk a little bit. You still have to eat some of the chalk too. Like I've been saying, you still have to eat that chalk. I'm going to have that chalk exposure in my lineup, or that chalky exposure in my portfolio. There we go. I'm still going to have it, but I want to leverage away from it too, when I can and where I can and how I can. It's definitely going to be a wide receiver, and I don't really care who it is. Any one of these guys. Let's do Pickens. It would have been Pickens or Waddle, so let's bring in Pickens. Makes me want to get a Chargers piece, obviously, pair up with Nico and Dallas. So I'll definitely be getting a Chargers piece at some point, is the way I want to look at it. Again, just a game stack. Doesn't have to be a full team stack, nothing like that. Just to bring back in those games. This could be any one of these. There's lots of clicks here. Lots of clicks here. Lots of clicks here. Let's do Rome. There's a lot of good clicks here, I think. There's a lot, like Chuba, Henderson, Rome, Jennings, a quality click. Olave's fine. Let's bring in Rome Odunze, though, pair up with DJ Moore. I think we're in an okay spot. Yeah, I think we're in an okay spot. We can make this work. I think. I got a lot of options. There's a lot of options here, which is what I like to do. I don't necessarily have to take Caleb Williams. I'm not boxing myself into that, I don't think. Depending on who I can get with my next couple clicks here. But I don't think I'm boxed into that as we sit right now. So what do we got? Anything crazy? Trey McBride falls to 28. Wow, that's nice value there. Jamar Chase drafter passes on T at the 2 spot. Interesting. T. Higgins, Terry McLaurin. Is Terry rising the second time in a row? He's gone at the 2-3 turn. Is he rising? Not really. A little bit ahead of my rank, but we'll see where that goes and continues to go. That's interesting that you pass on T. Higgins when you get Jamar at 2. That's interesting. And then you take Joe Burrow. Like, why would you not take T. Higgins there? I don't know. I think you do. You don't have to. I guess you can leverage away from it. I don't know. I probably do. I probably take T. Higgins here instead of Josh Jacobs, but that's just me. Trey McBride falls. Where did Marvin? Oh, right there. Marvin Harrison there. Wow. Marvin Harrison gets pulled up. Fell to me last draft to the 31 and then gets taken at 22 here. Interesting. Very interesting. Some oddball builds going on here. Very oddball builds going on here, but okay. We can make it work. We can adjust. I would have taken Ayuk there, but that's okay. Let's bring in Mooney. Yeah, let's bring in Mooney. Opens another door, which I like. Fantasy dog might need to catch up a little bit at wide receiver. Definitely got to be on your toes in this room, it feels like a little bit. Feels like I got to be on my toes. I haven't drafted Brian Robinson like literally almost at all. And not much in BBM or the puppies. That might just be the click, I think. Pairs up with my Pickens. And I just don't have much. I could go wide receiver here. It's a juicy wide receiver range, but I need some running back help here. Let's bring in Brian Robinson. And just, again, doors are open, so there's no panic, no issues. I took Terry 2-3 because Garrett and T were off the board. I have Terry ahead of MJHJ, and I hope Jaden comes back 4-5. Yeah, it's fine click. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the click. It's just like 2 times in a row he goes a little higher than ADP. So I want to be sure. I just want to stay ahead of the game as far as if he's rising. Which, his ADP is 27. That's not certainly not a reach, right? Like, realistically, I think that Terry ends up in the first round. I think he ends up wherever the CeeDee Lamb drafter is, probably around here, roughly. Like if CeeDee Lamb is the 4 pick, Terry's going to be pick 21. That's where I think he ends up realistically. I do think he ends up as a second round pick to pair up with CeeDee and just becomes that chalk that you're going to have to get exposure to. So if you can get the CeeDee Lamb with Terry McLaurin in the 3rd, I think you should be doing that every time. I really do. Even if you don't get Jaden, it doesn't matter. Even if you don't get Dak Prescott, I don't think it matters. I really don't. I think you should be scooping up as much of that where you get a free second round pick, in my opinion. So if you're down here, even it might be worth pulling, CD up to the 2 spot or 2 or 3, and then taking Terry, at 22. And then you get a higher, third round pick sort of thing. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. And I have been doing, and I'm going to continue to do. If I can get Terry in the 3rd paired with CD and I get a free second round pick, I'm going to be hammering that. I really, really am. So Caleb goes probably for no good reason. Yep. No good reason whatsoever. Okay. Just because he was there. Kyler's a much better click for you there, Mr. Charlie Rose, but that's all right. I would have taken Caleb here if he fell to me, but again, I don't think I boxed myself into taking Caleb. I think I'm fine. So I'm not about to panic. That's for sure. I'll see that comment in a second here. I'm going to bring in Bo Nix. Fields is probably a click, but I can backstack Denver. So let's do that. Let's bring in Bo Nix. I'm not going to correlate too much with Bo Nix, but I just think there's value to be had. 7 picks, half a round of ADP value. There's value there. I like Bo Nix. I can backstack. There's really no reason to take any of these other picks, and then I get my my Evan Ingram done at tight end now. I can stop at 2, which is nice as well. That frees me up a little bit later in the draft. So yeah, there's no other correlation that I have to force in the quarterback somewhere. Mind you, I could bring in the Chargers. That actually might work. We'll see. We'll see about that. I think Terry should be ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's equal to T and Garrett Wilson. What do I have for rankings? I've got Garrett Wilson ranked 22, T. Higgins ranked 26th, and McLaurin at 29. So really it's kind of pick your poison. I'd have to see what the rest of my rankings look like. And I might have to, I'm not going to change my rankings. I've been saying this a lot. I'm not changing my rankings. I typically draft off of ADP anyways. I do like having the ability to just toggle back and forth is just wonderful, right? So typically I just bring up ADP, and I know how I feel. I was talking about this with PPR Tyler on the last episode a couple nights ago. How you feel about these certain players, right? So draft off of ADP, draft off of your exposures, right? That, shout out Best Ball overlay. You have your exposures right there, and you can chop it up with, different tournaments or all of your tournaments, whatever, and then just kind of take it from there. So realistically, I don't think rankings matter a crazy amount. So yeah, I have Marvin Harrison at 25. So I have him ahead of McLaurin for now. And I don't think that changes, actually. I really don't think that changes, but we will see. I don't love the Hollywood click, but it does make a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense, but I don't think I'm going to do that either. I think I'm just going to bring in CJ Stroud here. I don't necessarily want to push him. I don't think Fantasy Dog would take him. I don't think that makes sense for him, but you never know with this guy. He does have Josh Allen, but you just never know. Let's just take Stroud. there, and then I'll be done at quarterback, done at tight end, so I could just hammer out running back, wide receiver to wrap up the draft. And if Hollywood falls into my lap, I'll take him. I just don't feel like I have to. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I don't have Tet that high at all. Wow. So there you go. Like Jalen Noel gets pulled way up the board. That was going to be another, kind of backstack option for me. So again, that's why I just take him, because I just don't trust some of these guys. So I take Hollywood. That's easy. That's perfect. That works. Fantasy Dog pulls up Josh Palmer. Yeah, sure. I'm all right with that. Jalen Noel, I don't think makes a lot of sense to yank up the board like that. Almost 20 picks. So that just kind of stinks for me, but it's fine. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah. I kind of wish I had a better San Francisco option. I would have taken Ayuk, but he went one pick before me. Right here. So that's kind of just unfortunate. Pairs up with McCaffrey, I guess. Team stack. So I kind of wish I had a better, and I was thinking about taking, where was he? Juwan Jennings right here instead of Roma Dunze, which actually probably would have been the correct click now that hindsight's 2020. But I was thinking that there's a good opportunity that Caleb would fall to me, and this guy just took him for no good reason. So that's it's the thing that happens. It's what happens in some of these draft rooms where guys do things that don't really make a ton of sense. And this is kind of why we always say, like, the badgeless, like they don't do things that make sense sometimes. Both these guys are badgeless, and they're doing some things that don't particularly make a lot of sense. So, and here's a badgeless drafter that's doing things just fine. At least I think. Pairs up Love with Reed. Not much else going on, but it's not a horrible draft. So, yeah. Yeah. Leg up loves Noel. Could be using their ranks. There you go. Not sure why they would. Like, I would think that it's going to be Nico Collins and Jaden Higgins in 12 personnel. And then, yeah, Noel could beat out straight up Christian Kirk for the slot role, but he could not also. Like Kirk could definitely win that job and be the starter in the slot all year, and Noel could be more or less a zero. That's very on the table for Jalen Noel. Very on the table. So I wouldn't be pulling up Jalen Noel. I like him. He's a fine click. I like him as a prospect, that's for sure. I think he definitely has a chance to just straight up beat out Christian Kirk for that slot role. But again, 12 personnel, it's probably going to be Jaden Higgins and Nico Collins, in my opinion. But I could be wrong on that. We're going to go like this. And we're going to bring in Quentin Johnston. That's that Chargers piece that I want. Yep. That's the Chargers piece that I want so desperately. So let's do that. Haven't really clicked Bigsby. Might be a click here, I guess. I definitely wouldn't mind catching up at running back a little bit. Eckler could be a quality click here. I'm going to be just throwing volume. It might be a 7-7, actually. This might be a 2-7-7-2 team, but we'll see. Bigsby goes. That's okay. I guess it's Eckler. It's either Eckler or Dowdle. I don't want Braylon Allen. Mind you, actually, that might make a lot of sense. Let's do that. Let's do Braylon Allen. I think that makes actually a lot of sense with the fragility of this RB room. Let's kind of guarantee ourselves that Jets running backfield for the most part. Let's do that. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially over Eckler. I didn't even see I had Robinson for a second there. So if we're going to be pairing up running backs, in a backfield, it's Breece Hall and Braylon Allen, and it's not even a conversation. So there we go. I like that, actually. It's a good move, I think. Potentially. It's definitely on the table. Definitely on the table. They have Kirk buried, so I guess the bet is nail beats. Yeah, that's obviously what they're saying. And it's on the table. Like, that's definitely on the table. I will say that and admit that, and I say that all the time. It could definitely happen. But to build that into your rankings so like definitively, I think is a mistake personally. Like, why do we think that Christian Kirk is just dead? Like, yeah, they traded only a 7th round pick. I get that. They're paying him a lot of money. They redid his contract. They traded for him, regardless of the capital that they traded for him. Yes, they drafted 2 wide receivers in the draft early. I get that. But like, I would not just build that into my rankings that Christian Kirk is dead and Jalen Knowles is the guy. There's no way in the world that I would build that into my rankings personally. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I don't think that's good process personally. Again, you're betting on that third wide receiver. Like, what kind of snap percentage is the slot receiver for the Texans going to have? A defensive head coach, probably going to run a fair amount of 12 personnel. They love Kate Stover. They have Brevin Jordan. They obviously still have Dalton Schultz. They're going to run a lot of 12 personnel for sure. Where is the slot receiver even getting on the field? Like, I think a 60% slot share is snap share is probably where I would be looking at. And then like, where are they going to be at in the pecking order as far as like targets are concerned? Probably like absolute maximum, you'd have to say third option. And then floor is probably like 5th. So I don't know. That's my kind of take on that. I wouldn't bake that into my rankings. That's for damn sure. I would not. I think it's on the table. I think it's possible, but I absolutely wouldn't be like baking that into my rankings. I'll tell you that right now. So 15th round, we need running backs, maybe wide receiver, but it's definitely running backs. Lots of badgeless are using UDS prep for redrafts. That's how I started on Underdog. Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to do it, really. Let's bring in Rico. Let's bring him in. It's a good click here. Well past ADP. I need running backs. Let's do it. Rico Dowdle, come on down. Like, I could go Pat Bryant here for sure, but I don't think I'm going to do that regardless. I really don't feel like I need another Denver piece. I really don't, especially with the scrambling rushing ability for Bo Nix. I don't think I need it, especially when I might just take 7 running backs instead. I mean, it could be Samson, but by week 9, I'd rather not go down that road either. I think Giddens is the click here over Samson, no question anyways. So let's just get some more exposure to Giddens, bring him in. Yeah, that's a quality way to do it. Like, there's really no point in doing mock drafts anymore. Mock drafts are useless. They're a waste of time. They are an absolute waste of time. Jump onto Underdog and do a quick draft. If you're doing draft prep for redraft, absolutely. Just jump on Underdog and do a draft. Like, Best Ball is redraft's ugly cousin, or redraft is Best Ball's ugly cousin, however you want to look at it. But they're very similar. There's a lot of crossover. They're not the same, but there's a lot of crossover between redraft and Best Ball. So that's what I would do. Mock drafts are a waste of time. Waste of time. They are effectively building eliminator teams. Yeah. Like, eliminator and redraft would be very similar. I like that eliminator. I got my first one in last night. I don't really like my team. I got my first one in last night, and we'll see. I definitely need to improve on my, not necessarily strategy, but on just because the ADPs are a bunch different and the strategy is different. So I need to just kind of get some reps in, really, is all it is. Which makes me wonder if the limited field is softer before the August redraft crowd pours in. Probably, yeah. But the people that are drafting on Underdog, regardless, if they're drafting a lot right now, they're going to be sharp. Like, all of the sickos are drafting right now, and then there's people just having fun, but the majority are probably like sickos for the most part, right? So they should be, in theory, the room should be a little bit sharper right now, kind of regardless. But I would agree with this sentiment. Like, in theory, yeah, I would agree with this. Maybe do a limbs now and save off BBM and sprint for mass entry in August through close. I mean, there's a lot of value to be had in BBM right now too. I'm not doing the sprint personally. There's just too many tournaments. Like, the ancillary ones that I'm going to do are the eliminator and weekly winners a little bit. I'll probably get like maybe 50 weekly winners, something like that, and probably like 100 eliminators, something around those lines. I'm not doing the sprint this year personally. I just think there's just too many tournaments to draft, too many different strategies. So I'm going to pick and choose personally. So I'm not doing the sprint, but there's a lot of value to be had right now in BBM for sure. So I like to kind of space it out. I like to more or less follow the fill of the tournament, like follow my portfolio with the fill of Best Ball Mania for the most part. But I wouldn't mind getting ahead of it right now a little bit before camp opens, because you still have a lot of like pre-camp takes that if you feel like you have an edge, which personally I feel like I have an edge, I'm going to want to draft more right now to take advantage of that. Right. So that's kind of my take on it, or my feel. Brashard Smith, I'm almost 70 friggin %. That's ridiculous. But he does pair up with my Denver. So let's do it. I need a running back. Let's get it in there. Do I think I need another running back? I kind of do. I kind of do. I guess I could have taken Royals there. I feel like I could get some flex weeks out of my tight end spot. It's either running back or wide receiver. I could go either way. I don't like the click, kind of regardless. Let's just do Taj Brooks. It'd be between, oh my God. What happened there? Do I have my maxes set? I think I have my maxes set, and that's why I didn't get a running back. Why is my max not set to 7? Yeah, that's it. Let's set that to 7 and 9. That's annoying. If you didn't know how to set your maxes, by the way, you go to your rankings and then to NFL, obviously, and then you got your rankings there. Go over to limits and set your limits. So that doesn't really kill me because I don't really care. I could have went either way on that one. So it's not the end of the world. But I would have rather probably take a running back there. At least it's Slayton. I'm fine with the click. Pairs up with Bowers, I guess. There you go. Maybe that's what wins me. That probably wins me the tournament there. Yeah. So anyways, there's some value to have at PBM. Sorry, I got off topic there. I'm a sicko, just saying. You absolutely are. GM hacked it up today. Shot 90. That's not bad. 10 handicap. Yeah. I'm about a 10 as well. I'm at like 12. I'm at about a 12.5, I think, is where I'm at exactly. So 90, yeah, you want to break 90 typically, Mountain Man. I get you. I'm hoping I shoot. It's a tough course that I'm typically playing at, and then I'm playing today. It's tough track. So I'm hoping I shoot. If I break 90, I'll be happy. If I shoot 89, it's only my second round of the season. So if I shoot 89, and yeah, Arizona, good for you. You can golf year round. I can't, and the weather sucks lately. So it's only my second round. If I break 90, I'll be happy with that. That's my goal. Pretty unique team I drafted. Let's take a quick peek, but we're going to get out of here. I'm going to hit the course and get some practice in. Lamar, Trevor Lawrence, I like that. Derrick Henry, Kamara, Connor. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You know you're a little thin there, but it doesn't mean it can't work. You're top heavy, I get it, but a little thin. Definitely unique. You're very correct on that. Johnny Smith and Andrews, I like that. I'm fine with stopping at 2. I like that. Neighbors, Hunter with Lawrence, just Hunter. Okay. Bring back. No Green Bay pieces for the bring back on the Baltimore side. Bateman, I don't mind it. It's definitely unique. You're definitely correct on that one. It's definitely unique. How we doing, Hartman? Uh-oh. Auto pick. The auto pick was fine. It worked out. Quick chat going in. I was a 7 for a minute. Nice. Dang. That's not easy. Oh, quick sneeze. That is not easy. I would like to get to single digits. Single digits was my goal. It was my goal last year. It's my goal this year, but we'll see. I got to get out there and hack some rounds. So hopefully it starts today. I got to work on my putting. But we're gonna get out of here. We're done for today. We're Monday. I'll be back probably Wednesday. Is probably when we'll have the next stream. So pop in, hit the like button on your way out. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button if you like the content. We'll be drafting all summer. That's about it. We'll get out of here. Like I always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully today we were right. We win Best Ball Mania 6. Have fun with the fantasy game. Don't take anything personally. We'll see you guys on the next one.